What's going on, Taurus? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, shares, donations. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be business, Taurus. We are trying to make it rain. And I think that's all I had. So just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed and it's been changed up, hence the excitement. I'm getting myself together here, Taurus. But yeah, I felt like you were getting a little too comfortable there, so I had to switch things up. But with this spread, I'm going to be pulling 10 cards, and I'll be doing clarifications as need be. And of course, a good old surprise card at the end, because after that little fumble in the beginning, you've earned it. So, and then lastly, in case y'all were curious, I'm using the Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck, OG deck, and I've included a link for this deck and other ones that I like using down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But let's go ahead and get into your first card, which is going to be the current situation. So, hiya self. What's the current situation looking like for Taurus in business? Let's see how Taurus, let's see what you've been up to, building your empires. That's what I'm imagining. Let's see what's going on for you. Boy. You see, Taurus, I'm really getting it together. Hold on, we're almost there. Nice. You got the Four of Wands here, Taurus. And I feel like with the Four of Wands popping up, maybe we're getting at this place right now where we're kind of like wrapping things up here. Maybe you've been working on a project. Let's say if you're working at a place right now, whether you're employee, whether you're managing, whether you own that bad boy, whatever it's looking like, Taurus. I feel like something, a project or something maybe ongoing might be kind of coming to a close here. And maybe we're getting at this point where we're just kind of, hopefully we're just kind of celebrating that win, and if not, definitely take that time, whenever you get some kind of accomplishment here, Taurus, you definitely want to, I get where we may want to go to like the next thing here, and I'm only bringing that up just because this is Venus and Aries here, and sometimes it's like, when we're hot, and then we want to keep that momentum going. But I do feel like, give those when you get to a sense of completion or something like that, give that stuff that space there, because you've poured your energy into this thing. Maybe you've been working with some other people. We should all just kind of get around and just kind of cheers to the occasion here. So cheers to you, Taurus. And maybe for some others, maybe we're at this place of maybe we're trying to figure out how we're going to get to this game plan here. Maybe we're starting up something fresh here. We're kind of mapping stuff out right now. How do we get to this end game here? And Taurus is going to be one of those things in which I don't have to tell you this, consider your sign, but maybe it might be a nice reminder. Just be patient with yourself, as you're going with this stuff. Try not to rush the experience. I get where we want to just like kind of get to that win. And it's another thing. If you got like deadlines, that's one thing. Get your deadlines done there, Taurus. But also, let's see if we can maybe kind of like breathe a little fun into this thing along the way. I just feel like sometimes it's cool to kind of work, but let's have like little laughs and like little playful stuff along the way. It's not quite traditional with the Four of Wands, but it's just like intuitively what I'm getting. That maybe some of us might be just sort of like possibly just kind of rushing the stuff along and not really getting the full experience of having brought something to completion here, because that really is it really is such a great feeling. So I just if that's the case, too, just be with that energy, Taurus. You've done it's been a job well done. You've deserved to celebrate this stuff when this happens here. So I'm with that. Good start there, Taurus. Let's get to your next card here, which is going to be some challenges. So, higher self, what's the current challenge looking like for Taurus at this time? Let's see, what are some things that may be kind of get some hiccups that may be coming your way, Taurus? And that's not funny, but it is because it's you, Taurus, and you in the sense of it's the Hierophant that popped up. And I feel like the current challenge right now, and that's interesting. I feel like, part way, what I was kind of talking about before, making sure that we're getting the most out of this experience here. Maybe some of us, now that that's you've popped up, maybe some of us have, I'm getting two things. Again, that part way, some of us are kind of rushing this experience along. I'm not sure if it's just, if it's like maybe this is something that's been like, it's a challenge, but it's like maybe this is a challenge that's been like extra, maybe like kind of getting you in like a real kind of like anxious type of place, or you're worried if we're going to meet deadlines, or maybe it's been kind of like a madhouse, whether you're in a company or whether you're owning your own type of thing, whatever that looks like, just might have been like the time has just been maybe crazy busy, we just been sort of like running around with chickens with our head cut off here. And I feel like, just when you get a second, just like pause, breathe, and just like sort of just like reassess, what's going on right now, why are we feeling so rushed? Let's see if we can kind of like dial it back a little bit instead of like worrying about everything. Sit down, game plan. Okay, we got this deadline. Okay, let's see what needs our immediate attention, and then prioritize stuff. I feel like maybe that's for some of us that may help us. For some others, I feel like maybe I don't want to say you're like dragging your feet on this thing, but I feel like maybe we're at this place of where it's I'm not sure, Taurus, where it's like I don't know if we're not feeling motivated to get this to get to this energy, or maybe this is something like where it's like a project that, let's say for example, you were in a meeting and your person was like presenting a bunch of different options here, and maybe you didn't get the option that you wanted to work on here, so now we're just sort of like just kind of putting in like half energy, just sort of like, oh man, like you're getting stuff done, but it's just sort of like it's like the bare minimum, you know what I mean? And because I say that too, because the funny thing about this Hierophant in the deck is he moves every 2,000 years, and I don't think that you're moving that slow, Taurus, but I feel like maybe I feel like if this is not something that you're enjoying, maybe per se, knock this thing out, complete it like you would complete anything else. And then if it keeps you in a place where, let's say for example, you're working in a company, you keep getting like, let's say like the crap jobs, if you will, for lack of a more elegant term, then it may be time to maybe think about doing some other options here, maybe looking for some other avenues, and keep in mind, Taurus, I'm not telling you to quit your job, but be practical with that. If it's not raising your vibration, you're not getting to this place where you're able to like freely express yourself or utilize the most of your skills, then there's going to be no wisdom to get brought from this thing. And it's fine, if something's not resonating with you, you don't have to force this thing to work. It's not something that I feel like I just think that that's a weird kind of pressure to put on yourself. If you're not enjoying it, then them's just the facts. So take the wisdom from that and keep it moving. Go find that thing that's gonna where you'll be excited about getting to that win here. Because that's interesting. That you would be the challenge. So I'm getting that. Maybe it's time too to maybe do some kind of on either end. Do some kind of meditation right now. Just kind of see where we're at in life. Assess and then tackle that from there. So I think I'm gonna leave that there, Taurus. Let's get Taurus, I'm gonna get I was gonna leave that there. Let's get I just feel like there might be another little nugget in there. Let's hi yourself. Can we clarify the Hierophant, please? Because that is kind of something telling me there might be another little nugget in there, Taurus. Hold on, let's check this out here. Interesting. You got the 7 of disc here, Taurus, and this is another one of your cards here. This is Saturn in Taurus. And so maybe some of us, I feel like maybe on that other end, when I was talking about or not even on that other end. That's interesting, Taurus. Maybe some of us maybe kind of worried about how this project might be going on right now. Maybe we're worried about something not being brought to completion here. I'm not sure if it's just maybe it's outside of your wheelhouse. Maybe it's taking on something more than maybe when you started this thing, you're like, oh yeah, I can tackle all this stuff here. And then when we get to reality, it's just like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Crap, I'm going to fail. I might lose my job. I might do all this stuff. All this worry and all this doubt starts coming in here, Taurus. But again, I really feel like there's something's telling me to just pause for a second and, assess this situation. Because, yeah, I thought there was another weird little nugget in there. So, yeah, if we're having doubts of like, if we're not going to, succeed in this thing, that we're going to be left, like this, if this is, this might be it. Taurus, this is, it's not the end of the world. I know in the moment it may feel like it, but it's the skies, there are opportunities aplenty, and not even, and I mean, in your job too, because I'm sure they're not going to, like, wherever you're at in this thing, I wouldn't think that they would let you go if something, if you had to say like, hey, maybe I need to like kind of delegate, maybe like I thought I had this, but, can I get another person in on this thing? Because if anything, the fact that you realized your limitations and then spoke up about that thing, that to me, for me personally, that speaks volumes. Someone who knows themselves, and it's just like, because I can get that, where if you were real kind of excited, got that hunger, you just want to tackle all the stuff, you're trying to make that coin. We were making it rain earlier, but yeah, just be compassionate to yourself, Taurus. Be kind. This is we're all learning in this journey here. So okay, now I'm gonna leave that there. Let's get to your third card, which is going to be where to find some assistance in this thing, or maybe some energetically where we might need to tap into to get some help. So higher self, where can Taurus kind of find help in this situation here? Let's see. Let's see what's going on there, Taurus. Let's see if we can get some assistance here. Yeah, okay. Okay. You got the Princess of Cups here. And I feel like Taurus is going to be one of those things, I feel like where you can find help is really kind of like seeing, observing where you're pouring your energy into. And let me kind of elaborate on that. Like what I mean by that is like, when you really like something, that you're like really pumped up, you're going to give your all to it. You're going to pour your blood, sweat, tears, we're working overtime, and it's not like work to you. This is something that you're passionate about. It's filling all of your cups and you have no problem doing this thing. But, I feel like, if we're at this place where we've got this thing and we're sort of looking at this like whatever maybe job or project we're working on, and it's just sort of like, man, this is okay. Like I'll sort, I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll kind of, we'll do this. We're kind of, we're not feeling enthusiastic about this thing. It's. That may be something to kind of sit with, if this is something that's been going on for a while. I feel like it's normal for maybe something from time to time that we may not entirely want to do, but it's that's interesting, Taurus. I'm getting a sense of like we're not satisfied, possibly just for some, or just kind of pay attention to that. I feel like that's a signal. Like if we're not super geeked up about this thing, or even kind of excited about this stuff, why is that? Is it the actual project? Is it the place that you're at? Is how we're going about things? I feel like there's something that needs to be analyzed here. Maybe we're not getting I feel like maybe, maybe some of you too, another thing as well, maybe it's something that you've been pouring your all into your work and all of this stuff here, but it's not yielding the same amount of returns here. So, that's another one too, if it's not, again, if it's not promoting that growth, or there's no kind of reciprocity, you're just giving, and there's nothing coming back for you, that gets kind of weird, Taurus. And, that's like, it's like siphoning your energy. We don't want to be in this place of where eventually we get to like where we're resenting our work. It's like, well, crap, I wasted all this time and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, Taurus, I think I'm gonna leave that there. I hope that makes sense. But I just feel like if it's not something that's resonating with you, it may just be time to kind of reevaluate some things. But let's get to your fourth card, which is going to be some long-term gains. So, higher self, what's Taurus got to look forward in the long term? Let's see. We're kind of getting an understanding of this thing. Because I tell you, Taurus, I love it throwing curveballs all the time here. I see you. Interesting. Yeah, and I dig it. You got the Six of Cups here. And this is what I was talking about. I feel like if it's where where I get it, you know, when we're doing our business, you know, when we're trying to accumulate resources here, you know, I get wanting to be, it's, you know, we want to be about work, but it should be work that, again, it's just that it brings us joy. You know, I feel like if we get to this place of where we kind of like, it's, I get where you have like bills and, you know, we got to feed the family and all that stuff, but we also wanted to, you know, it's, I feel like if you're just doing the basic things just to survive, it's just like, what kind of life is that, you know? Well, are we having fun in the meantime? You know, are we enjoying ourselves? You know, what are some things that could, like, you know, fill up all these cups here, you know? Because if we're kind of like forcing ourselves to do this thing, or, you know, we like tell ourselves like, oh, you know, like I have to do this thing, then it gets you in this place of like you're in a state of obligation, as opposed to like I want to do this thing. You know, I'm excited to do this thing. When I get up, I'm like, yes, I can't wait to do blah, 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 X, Y, Z, you know, and I feel like that's coming for you, you know, once we get that, once we see how, I feel like once we start observing how our energies are being distributed and, you know, what's being brought back to you, I think that we're gonna, you know, down the line, you know, it's gonna be an adjustment, but I do feel like there's gonna be some good times that come in here. So I dig that. I think I'm gonna leave that there, Taurus. Let's get to some short-term stuff here, because yeah, that's definitely, I get where, you know, long-term is great, but it's like if we're kind of in that right now, we could use some immediate relief. So higher self, what are some short-term gains for Taurus at this time? Let's see what we can what we got looking for you in the near future, or in the closer. Oh, hopefully more organization here than this, Taurus. Let's oh yeah, okay. Nice. Look at you. Oh, sorry, girl. Queen of Disc. So, and she's been popping up all over the place. And I feel like with this being a short-term game here, you know, I really feel like, you know, we're going to get to this place of where this, you know, look at how she's looking out at this field here. You know, I feel like where we were beforehand, before we were starting to think about our feelings, she was probably looking at this thing of just like, ugh, I got to deal with all this barren land. I don't want to do all of that. You know, like what am I going to get from this thing other than like toiling work here? But I do feel like, you know, if we're breathing a little bit of fun, you know, where we find that thing that excites us again, you know, because that's where really what when she's doing what she loves here, the Queen of Disc is looking at this thing like, okay, I'm about to build a big old pool over here. Maybe I'm gonna plant a forest over here. You know, she's thinking big. And think too, Taurus, this is Capricorn energy. So I feel like it's something that if we have been, again, in a place where it's just like, it's been like this, ugh, you know, like I'm not just even slightly enthusiastic about this thing. I feel like it's time to take action towards something towards that, you know, start thinking about how can we balance this thing? How can we work smart and play smart? You know what I mean? As opposed to like just working hard and then having fun, like in little spurts, you know, kind of taking vacations. But it's like, what's a vacation? Because like once you get towards the end of it, it's just like, oh, I got to go back to this thing again, as opposed to, okay, I'm gonna do this thing, and then I'm gonna go on my little trip, and then I can't wait to get back to this. You know, it's just like it becomes this nice little, lovely little dance here. So yeah, I feel like that enthusiasm for this thing is coming, but I really just think that too is just being aware of where your energy's at and how you're feeling about this thing. So let's get to some strengths, you know. And I feel like something about this energy, Taurus, is just like I'm getting like low energy right now, you know. I you know, just intuitively, you know, that it's something we're not feeling it, you know. I feel like for some of you here, but we're about to get geeked up. Let's talk about some strengths here, because I know you got them. So higher self, what are some strengths that Taurus is working with at this time? Let's see, what are some ways we can get Taurus kind of lifted up here? Because yeah, Taurus, I'm getting something weird here. Oh, and the weirdness keeps coming. You got the Ten of Swords here, Taurus. And you know what? This is good, because I do the Ten of Swords is normally, yes, it's a card of ruin, but it's only a card of ruin if we're staying in places that, again, bring our vibrations down. You know, it's like, this is like you're all up in your head. We're not sure how do we get out, and it's just, we're almost just like, you know what, like I'm just gonna deal with this thing, and hopefully this noise will be just kind of quieted here. But another way of looking at this thing is just this like heralding the end of delusions, and I feel like it's just realizing that there is more to, that you can get more more out of your business than just like the typical kind of like, you know, 9 to 5 type of grind. And again, there's not there or not again, but there's nothing wrong with that. But if it's not doing it for you, it's, you know, we got to be real with ourselves, you know, and that's okay. If you got to do stuff, you know, some of us like doing like the more kind of structured route. Some of us maybe want to start up our own thing. You know, some of us may want to manage our own thing. You know, it could be something too. You know, maybe you're not fulfilled because you're not being challenged enough. Maybe some of us need a want something more there. And I feel like Taurus, you know, if you want it, go out there and get it, you know, claim that thing. You know, it's unfortunately we're not at this place right now where we're not mind readers. And, you know, I'm not coming at you, Taurus, but it's to, you know, communicate that type of stuff here, you know, express your things. It's like, hey, how do I like, you know, I like your job. How do I get here? What steps do I need to take? You know, maybe not that aggressive, but, you know, if someone came up to me and said that, I might at least, that's how you at least get a assistant. You know, we're going to at least start to get you groomed for that type of thing, you know. I hope this is all making sense, Taurus, because this is an interesting kind of read here. You know, I just feel like, you know, we're at this place right now. It's yeah, are we getting the most bang for our buck? You know, this is some interesting energy, but I do feel like, go back to your strength here. I just feel like, you know, a strength is just realizing that there is more and that you deserve more as well. You know, maybe just some of us might have needed reminders for that, but I think I'm going to get a little bit more on that Ten of Swords, because that is kind of a weird one there, Taurus. So higher self, can we get a little bit more on that Ten of Swords here? I just think that there's, you're making me work for it, Taurus. I see I'm gonna have to hunt for these nuggets here, and I ain't mad at that. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, you got the Six of Swords here, and so yes, I feel like it's going to be that thing that when you find that thing that you're like really kind of hyper focused on, you know, that thing that like really sort of like makes sense, because the Six of Swords is like about directed knowledge, you know, and it's like, you know, one of my cards of like, you know, you've been going through a tough time, but now we're getting ready to get at the end of this thing. You know, maybe some of us might help like kind of focus in on something that you love, and then how we can make that work for us. And, you know, maybe for some others, you know, maybe we're at this place right now, maybe we've been I'm getting a whole lot, you know, maybe we've been kind of like stuck in a rut here, and it may be kind of like time to change the scene up for a little bit. Maybe it might be time, if we've been working for a while here, it might be, if you got some PTO saved up or something along those lines, you can take a vacation or whatever. It may be time to even take some travel too. You know, maybe getting out of that environment, you know, kind of breathing in, being in somewhere just like outside of that space, you know, that you can allow yourself to kind of think, you know, kind of detach from the business for a second. You know, might breathe in some fresh perspective and help you think outside of the box here, because this is Mercury in Aquarius. And when I think about both of these energies, you know, it's both kind of air type of energies here. You know, Mercury rules over, one of the signs that it rules over is Gemini. And I just feel like, you know, this is going to get to a place that maybe if we go for like maybe go on like a road trip, maybe we go for like a camping trip, you know, whatever kind of trip, you know, I think that it would benefit you, and it's going to just help it where we're not just in this fog all the time, or, you know, this like in this place of just lack of motivation here. So because that's so interesting, Taurus. You know, I almost feel like this is a strength that you're getting ready to discover. You know, maybe you don't even realize that you have all this stuff inside of you here. You know, because I mean, even thinking about, you know, your current challenge, I feel like maybe some of it might benefit from even doing like a Hierophant. You know, really kind of maybe we should go for like a cabin trip or something along those lines, like a quiet type of space. You know, so that you can really kind of do some introspective work and figure out what it is that you want, and is this where you see your life going here, Taurus? You know, I feel like this could be like a thing of self-discovery here. So something's a brewing here, Taurus. So then don't let that get you nervous or anything. I feel like growth is coming from this, you know, because what better, learning more about yourself and understanding how you operate, that's a definite win. So yeah, I'm with that, Taurus. That's the first that's ever happened. So look at you, innovator. Let's get to your seventh card, which is going to be some weaknesses. So and which I like to call them strengths, waiting to be discovered. So higher self, what are some weaknesses that Taurus might be working with? Let's see. Let's see what's going on there, Taurus. Oh, Taurus. You got the sun here. And Taurus, I feel like it's time to shine a light on this thing. You know, what is it that would make you happy? Because I feel like maybe some of us, because this whole thing has been just kind of, yeah, this makes sense in the sense of like, you know, are you happy? You know, are you getting, again, does this bring like, you know, pockets of sunshine in your life? You know, that's a tough one, you know. You know, I feel like if we've been where we've sacrificed our happiness, you know, where we put our desires here, and I say our, you know, being yours, Taurus, I'm living through you right now. But, you know, if we've been putting our happiness on the back burner here, Taurus, I think it's time to pull the sun up to the forefront, because the sun is, you, how do I want to put this? You know, if you try to cover up the sun here, after a while, that's going to get hot, and then things are going to get weird, because the sun is meant to shine, Taurus. You are meant to shine here, and if we're not shining the brightest in what we're doing in our business here, then how can we? I feel like can we expect to really to whether you're owning a business or if you're working in a company or something along those lines. You know, there's not going to be any growth if we're denying ourselves the sunshine. You're going to plateau at some point. And I feel like, you know, it's time to remove that ceiling. You know, it's like let's breathe in some Six of Cups and bring in some sunshine back into your world here. Maybe, you know, while I'm thinking about all this traveling stuff here, maybe go to a place with some sunshine, go to a beach, you know, something along those lines, because maybe we've been, if we were like, if we're working from home in a sense, you know, maybe we've been cooped up inside for too long. You know, maybe it's been kind of waning down on maybe got us in like, maybe in like a, I don't want to say depressing type of state, but, you know, if you keep yourself cooped up and kind of locked in a cage, or, you know, in a cave for too long, you know, it does wane down on your feelings after a while. You know, go outside, you know, get the sun on your face if you know, when the sun is shining, you know, depending on where the weather's at. I know we're in kind of depending on where you're at, it's kind of a cold time. But yeah, Taurus, I just think that would definitely benefit you, because yeah, that's yeah, Taurus, I want you to get some sunshine here. You know what? Let's put this. Come on, sun. Let's lift them up a little bit. Hold on, Taurus. I'm going to get this thing up here, and we're going to yeah, bask in that a little bit. So let's get to your 8th card, which is going to be what to focus on in the present. So higher self, what are some things that Taurus can focus on in the present? Let's see what's cooking up for you there, Taurus. Because I tell you what, I'm gonna try to get you as uplifted as possible here, Taurus. Nice, Emperor. And you're gonna make it easy for me, because what you need to focus on right now is you know, in this boss energy here, because you've been getting a lot of Taurus, and in Aries energy, you know, like starting off with Aries energy here. So yeah, I just think, like, I feel like it's like focusing on getting back to the best version of ourselves. You know, I really feel like some of us have maybe really kind of like shrunk ourselves down, you know, really kind of I don't know, it's just like we're at this place where just like I feel like we're not feeling inspired or motivated, or like we're not feeling that drive. Because when I think about Aries energy, you know, it's that ushering in of the springtime. You know, this is you know, it's like the sun is out and things are blossoming, and you know, it's that exciting time. You know, it's just opportunities are, you know, just are all presenting themselves all around us here. And I do feel like, you know, once we figured, you know, kind of be with ourselves for a little bit, you know, I feel like the Emperor is coming, you know, but it's oh, Taurus. Yeah, I just want to almost put up like all the cards just around you, just so to have them in your face, just to be like, yes, Taurus, you're an Emperor. You know, don't forget about yourself. You lovely Queen of Discu, and all of this stuff here. But yeah, Taurus, where'd the Emperor go? But Taurus, you know, I really feel like it's it's time to level up. I just and I'm not saying that just like go do it. I just think that it's time to do things that are going to promote this level up here, because right now I feel like things have just sort of stagnated, and we're not pleased with that. So let's get back to where this sunshine is shining its brightest here, so that this Emperor, so that when you're walking out there, I mean, people are just like, oof, Taurus, you're just so bright, you're elevating people. So yeah, whew, okay. Let's get to your ninth card, which is going to be what to focus on in the future. So, higher self. What are some things? That Taurus can focus on in the future? Let's see. Let's see what's going on there, Taurus. Other than this sunshine here. Interesting. You got the Seven of Cups here, Taurus. And I feel like something to focus on in the future, is avoiding things that are going to sully this sunshine, because now that we've gotten eyes on it now, if this is resonating with you, we're in it now. But we want to get to this place of where we stay on track. And I get that every now and again, little hiccups may happen along the way. But if we're staying in this place of where if we're trying to force this happiness, and we're not addressing the issues, this is what happens. Seven of Cups, your lovely little lagoon here becomes this like toxic swamp. We're building on unsteady grounds here, and just things aren't going to line up how they're supposed to. We're just going to stay in this place of kind of like suck, and then that may lead to where if we're not feeling happy, because the Seven of Cups can also be a card of like escapism. This, for me, in this deck, this is like a prelude to a devil moment here. And we might get to this place of where we might result into like some escapist activities to try to well, not manufacture, but like imitate the sunshine, kind of like convince ourselves that we're happy, but really we're just sort of like drowning this. We're trying to really more so kind of muffle our sadness here. And I feel like it's one of those things, once you shine the sunlight on this thing, that's where the healing starts. That's where the growth starts, because if you're coming into this, if you're you may have gotten it together right now, and this is only going to be for some if this is kind of the route we've taken, but you may have gotten it right now, but if we keep suppressing these things, it has a sneaky way of permeating in your world. It's going to start on the inside. Higher self likes to keep our stuff kind of private, but if we keep ignoring this stuff here, then higher self is just like, okay, Taurus, I gotta send out some red, send out some beacons here. We gotta get some help. So, and then it starts, going out into it's gonna go into your business. Co-workers might start asking some questions. Then things get kind of weird. So, just keep that in mind. We're just like, it's, we want to keep that forward momentum. And again, Taurus, it's okay to have like a hiccup or two along the way. It happens from time to time, but it's just like diminishing that frequency of that lower vibratory behaviors happening. So let's get to your last card, which is going to be some opportunities. So higher self. No, son, you stay right there. Higher self. Okay. Ignore me, Taurus. What are some opportunities that Taurus may have coming for them? Let's see. Let's see what you got coming for you, Taurus. Interesting. You got the Eight of Swords here, Taurus, and you know what? Let's switch back over. Because with the Eight of Swords, this is something where it's where that thing of where you're so much in your head, it's been, maybe some of us have been down for whoever knows how long, I'm getting this place of where we feel like we're not that we're trapped, but it's like, we're trying the same type of methods to try to deal with the situation, and I feel like it's time to think outside of the box, to kind of to maybe think about it from a different perspective here, or something along those lines, because this is Jupiter and Gemini here, this energy, and Jupiter has to deal with it's a good luck planet, your fortune, your philosophy, all of that expansion, and Gemini is that duality. And I feel like if we're going to get to this sunshine, if we're going to get to our happiness, our fortune here, we're going to have to look at our situation from a couple of different perspectives. If things haven't been working out here, how can we shift this thing up, so that we don't so that we can can grow, you know, because if we're just keep staying in this place here, it's like you're just running on a rat on a wheel here, you know. It's just like we're not going anywhere. And that's you know, Taurus, I just feel like you can really really get the most out of this stuff here. But, you know, the opportunity is just like realizing that you don't have to stay in this headspace. You know, sometimes it's just like we get into this place of where we feel like this is all I deserve, or, you know, this is all I know how to do. You know, maybe we're thinking like, you know, maybe I'm too old to start something new, which again, it's just, these are all restrictions that we're putting on ourselves. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want to, Taurus. You know, you can go out there and get that happiness and raise that vibration. It doesn't matter, young, old, it doesn't even matter. You know, it's just, I feel like, you know, when that realization comes, you know, the opportunities are going to start pouring in, because now we're focusing on the sunshine. You know, this is the beacon we're putting out, as opposed to this this uncertainty, or this place of just like feeling trapped. So let me get one more nugget on this out of this Eight of Swords here before we wrap up, Taurus. I just feel like there might be one more thing going on up in there. So higher self, can we clarify the Eight of Swords, please? I thought I was done. I'm going to keep you a little bit longer, Taurus, because you've, yeah, this has been interesting. Ace of Cups. And this is exactly, you know, this is, once we free ourselves up here, look at what happened. You know, when we started, as soon as we start talking about this stuff here, now we're feeling fulfillment. You know, now this sunshine is, oh, now my vibration just raised. I don't know if you felt that. Now the energy's cooking, Taurus, because look at this. Look at this. This is your fulfillment. This is your happiness here. You know what? Just take a minute. Let's soak it up. All right, I'm not going to force it on you anymore, but just something to think about, Taurus. So I hope that made sense. It really was kind of a roller coaster there, but you know, I always enjoy the stuff that you bring me, Taurus. So if you like that, give it a thumbs up. Share this thing if you know someone who's going through this, Taurus. You know, because this is, I can get where, because it's even like, it's kind of confusing even how this energy was coming up here. So, and that's just the energy that you brought me. So if we're in this thing, you know, I can only imagine. So yeah, share this thing. You know, let's raise that vibration. Oh, what else are we doing? Subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos this week. I am getting better about being all up on Facebook. And then lastly, if you have Cancer in your placements, you know, sun, moon, rising, wherever, Taurus, you know, check out my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there, discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And you know what, for you, I might even, you know, I'm always going to talk about the sun from time to time, you know. But all that housekeeping in the description box below. But let me get you a surprise card here so I can get you out of here. And look at this. Oh, almost dropped your fortune on the floor. Your fortune. 9 of disc here, because now we're going to start getting some stuff. You know, the gain is starting to come here. You know, the 9 of disc is like your abundance coming in, you know, and this is the abundance that you've created. You know, this is something you've been working on, and now you're reaping the rewards of the seeds that you've sown. So yes, Taurus, it's going to be, look at what happened. As soon as we applied some sunshine, the crops started growing, the cups are, your cup's overflowing, abundance is flowing in. Look at you, Queen of Pentacles, sitting on your throne like a boss. Well, I mean, look at you, just sitting. I was like, wait a minute, Taurus, you showed up for your reason. Look at you. Look at how happy you are. Check out this guy's smile. This is we're in a good place, Taurus. All right, now I'm just being silly. So let me get you out of here and get you thinking about this stuff here. Get you thinking about the wisdom that's coming from here. So stay safe out there, Taurus, and you keep raising that vibration. And I will catch you on the next one later.